inkjet first started really being adapted by the printers, what the manufacturers were learning was that they were doing things with the machines that the manufacturers didn't even know were, I don't want to say that were possible, but they just, it wasn't what they were going for. I mean, there were printers who were printing posters and weird applications that, weird putting substrates through that weren't supposed to go through, but through that partnership with the your manufacturer, your rep, you can kind of also push the technology and pull it back to you as well. So it's great to, this panel is all about, learning about these companies, but also who is it that you want to do business with? You're kind of getting involved with them, in a longer, bigger picture. So, Robert, I have actually, it's the same question, but I want to add to it. When it comes to augmented reality, most of the concern is where does the content come from? Not so much the image recognition, but where am I supposed to get this man who pops off my page, or the frog that jumps across my desk, or a video? So how are you helping your customers with that content? And also, maybe you could let everybody know how you do partner with printers and manufacturers or anybody else that you might work with.
Sure. So, Miralupa is a technology partner. We have a symbiotic relationship with our printer value-added resellers. We're the hidden technology partner that is in the background. Printers have that relationship with their customers, and they remain in the forefront with that relationship with the customer. One of the things that and to answer your first question, one of the ways that we're helping printers is through simplicity. Essentially, we've been in business now for 6 years doing augmented reality. And whereas 6 years ago it was super complicated, what we've done is we've built a platform that allows for a printer, think of it as a WordPress for AR or Excel for AR. It's no longer someone with programming skills that can create an augmented reality experience. It's actually a drag and drop type of experience. And it's now the customer service department that is able to create augmented reality experiences for their customers. So in terms of how the system works, is that you have from easy to complex augmented reality experiences. And if we look at the easy side, adding a button that makes the shopping cart buy now button appear and people press and they're now putting in their credit card, that's literally a drag and drop. Once again, customer service oriented people within your organization are able to do that and put an augmented reality experience live within 5-10 minutes. If people need more complex augmented reality experiences, either the customer is going to produce that content, or Miralupa is once again in the background able to advise and actually produce content for the printer, who then gives it to the customer.
If the other, I mean, whenever I talk to people about augmented reality, let me just tell you what the questions they have. If somebody has a problem with the technology, are they going to call the printer for customer service, or will they be able to get directly in touch with you?
As of right now, with the printers that we're working with, the printers want to maintain the control with their customer. It is not so much a question of control.
Can you guys hear him?
Yeah, there's an alarm going off. The printers want to understand, so it's part of the learning process when they get new questions that they haven't had before from a customer, but also they want to maintain that relationship with their customer. They want to be on the ball. So often what happens is, if a printer does get a really interesting question, they'll come back to us, ask the question, we'll reply with the answer, and they'll talk to. It sounds a little bit complicated. It sounds from a workflow point of view that it could cause problems, but in fact, we've yet to come up to a situation where a customer has asked for something that is so complex that we haven't been able to deliver.
Thanks so much. So coming down the line, Alec, with technology changing so rapidly, how is Canon helping printers upgrade or are you just in a replace situation, or help them replace? Do you offer financing and things like that?
That is indeed a very interesting question. If you would look at our equipment, the way we build equipment, it always is built in such a way that you can expand on the existing equipment without having to change it on the floor. So you could, for instance, start off with your basic web press, inkjet web press, or your inkjet cut sheet press, and then upgrade all along the way, whether it goes from, starting off with black only inkjet and then adding on colors down the road, or adding on micro in case of transaction where the need is, or for some direct marketing applications where micro is required, you can add that on. In case you want to go from, let's say 200 feet a minute speed up to 500 feet a minute speed, you can do that as well. So let's say it's important to understand that Canon has chosen to go into a certain direction and technology and continuously evolve with the client to run with the equipment. As a for instance, referring to inkjet web presses, our very first press we installed in Canada was in 2009. That press is still running today. So let's say it evolves, the software is being upgraded, and that's an interesting point too. Let's say in this digital technology, a lot happens in the software, and that's where, let's say, the hardware can then take this on and you grow with it. So any kind of piece of equipment, and if I may refer to the VarioPrint i300, which is our cut sheet inkjet device, is built in such a way that you can then upgrade down the road, add more colors to it, add micro to it, all depending on what the needs are for the applications that you want to run. So it is indeed critical. The last thing you want is a customer buying a piece of equipment and then the year after have to forklift the piece of equipment, or let's say the equipment becomes obsolete. And I think that's clearly a very important decision on the printer side. Who do I go with? Who do I make sure 5 years down the road you're still here, we're still a partner? And that's why we always say, we have to make sure that the equipment you buy is the right equipment, and we have to make sure that we sell you the right equipment. If that's not the case, we're both in deep trouble. And I think that's where, to what you mentioned earlier, the partnership and clearly understand what you're using the equipment for is paramount before any decision is being made.
Do you want that question, or you want a new question? Up to you.
Depends. What's the new question?
The new question is, well, answer that question, then we'll start, Slava, on the last question, then we'll wrap it up.
Sure. It's an interesting debate because you have to look at it two ways. I agree, modularity is important, being able to add on. We all have that. I think in today's world, the most important decision you make is, are you buying from Ricoh or are you buying from someone else? And I'm Ricoh, so here's why I say that. The reason you want us as a partner, as an example, is you need the ability to be able to move your business. The scariest thing I hear from people all across Canada is, well, I don't really want to get this product because then you're going to come out with something new in a year, and I'm going to be stuck in something for 5 years, and then I'm going to be behind the market. And yeah, I know, we're always chasing that. It's like the phone market, you can't keep up. You don't need to worry about that. You need to have a partner who can help you transition to the next technology. It is in our best interest to have you printing a lot, right? That's good for us. So I think that's the critical piece. Canon, Xerox, us, HP, we have modularity. You can add things to your devices. You can say, I don't need this right now, I'll add it later. Not everything is what we call a forklift upgrade, where you have to basically buy a new product and you owe X amount of dollars in the old one. So you need partners that can do that. We do that fairly consistently with our client base. Sometimes it's to our detriment because we have to swallow a bunch of money on our own. But we understand the value of the long-term partnership. We want you to not have 5 of these and 2 of those from Ricoh. We want you to have 15 of these and 12 of these, and all the software that goes with it and all the tools that we provide. To do that, you have to be comfortable that making a decision now is not making a decision next year. We'll worry about next year when we get to next year. You can make a lot of money using these tools and devices, and if we come up with something great, we'll upgrade you somehow. We'll let us figure that out. You don't need to be concerned about that. We're not here, buy this and then tough luck, Charlie. We've got this new stuff now, and your competitors have it. So you've got to look for a partner that can take you down that road.
Thanks so much.
How are you finding the technology changing rapidly as it was 5 years?
So the question is the technology changing as rapidly? I would say yes. And we're talking about cut sheet inkjet. We're talking about roll-fed devices, the ability to run offset quality, coated stocks on roll-fed. All the bells and whistles on our toner-based devices. Like I said, our 7110, whites, clears, neons, all those things. Somebody who bought a product 3 years ago says, well, I don't have that and I still owe 3 years on a lease. Now I have to roll myself out of that lease and pay more, and puts me in a negative competitive position against my competitors in the marketplace. That's when you have to have partners who will come in there and say, you know what, you're right. We're going to make that go away. It hurts us in the short term because we don't make as much profit, but in the long term, we're good partners and we keep forging forward. So yeah, I think the technology is moving very quickly, and it will, but you shouldn't be scared to get in. The most important thing is to get in and get on with this stuff, and then have partners who can help you continue down the road.
Thanks so much. And Slava, I actually will ask you that question, and we'll wrap it up. Mr. Romano, Mr. Frank Romano.
Shout out to Frank Romano. Hello.
Is up
Thank
next.
you for being in the crowd. Yes.
He's doing a panel here at 12 that you definitely want to see. Or a panel or presentation? Oh, the presentation that you definitely don't want to miss. But Slava, so the last question for you. How are you training your customers to get most out of the products? And then we'll just finish with where everybody is on the show floor and how you can get in touch. So make it quick, though.
All right. To be quick, a lot of you have Gmail email addresses. A lot of you have company email addresses. Company email addresses, if you're using Outlook, Exchange, you have to upgrade and update all the time. Gmail just does it for you automatically. So since the topic of how do you upgrade and how do you keep up with the times, cloud-based technologies automatically self-heal. They self-update. You don't have to worry about it. So when it comes to how do you keep up, do you have to continuously upgrade it? If you have cloud-based technologies that help you, whether it's your workflow, whether it's your website, whether it's your online ordering or estimating, it will self-heal. Second part of the question was?
Where are you located on the show floor, and how can people get in touch with you?
I am right behind HP booth, so please do visit us. But there was another part to that question as well, unless we're out of time.
We're out of time. So how can people get in touch with you who are watching from home?
AmazingPrint.com. Please visit us. Click the contact form. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook. We are on social media as a marketing and technology company.
Thanks so much. Ed from Rico.
Our booth is right as you walked in the front door, large booth. And again, you can contact us at Rico Canada on all social media platforms. Drop by our booth, take a look at some of the technology I talked about, clear, white, neon, metallics. It'll open your eyes up to what you can potentially do with print today. And then we do have some videos running around our roll-fed inkjet that we were talking about.
Thanks so much. Alec Cannon.
You can reach us obviously on canon.ca, where you can find all the information, and you're more than welcome to join us on our booth, which is just at the main entrance. And I would welcome having the opportunity to show what you can do today with inkjet technology, what type of products come off, and have a discussion with you. Thanks.
Thanks so much, Robert.
And we're located in the 5400 aisle. Once again, miralupa.com is most probably the easiest way to find us.
Miralupa.com. I can't hear it. I'm sitting right here.
Miralupa.com. And we'd love to talk to you about how we can work with you and add new revenue.
So thanks, everybody, for coming. I always like to know, raise of hands, was this a good use of your 45 minutes? Did you learn something? Everybody learn something? Great. Thank you so much for spending time with us. Thank you very much to the panel. And we are here all day and all throughout the show with education, so please come back. Mr. Frank Romano is next.
Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you, Deborah. Thanks, guys. Nice meeting you.
Thank you. Nice meeting you. Thank you.
Thanks. I should be
Thank you.
Great job. Thank you so